The starship Horizon's Edge hung in orbit above the ice-shattered moon of Kelara, its hull gleaming like a silver shard under the twin suns. Commander Joran Hale stared out from the observation deck, his fingers tracing the frosted glass, though it did nothing to warm the chill settling in his bones. Something about this moon felt wrong. Too quiet, too empty, and yet the sensors were screaming lies. "Commander," Lieutenant Myra Chen's voice broke the silence, soft but urgent. "We're picking up faint energy signatures, patterns I've never seen before. They're intelligent." Joran didn't respond immediately. He had learned early in his career that strange readings usually meant one thing: trouble. Something in the human imagination had to explain it first, because the universe had no patience for our assumptions. "Show me," he said finally, his tone steady. The holoscreen lit up with jagged spikes of light, 3, maybe 4 distinct signals, pulsing rhythmically under the frozen surface of Kelara. "This isn't natural," Myra added, almost under her breath. "Nothing that could be ice quakes or electromagnetic storms. This is deliberate." Joran's mind raced. Kelara was on no human charts. It was a fringe moon at the edge of the recently surveyed Ilarian sector, a place considered uninhabitable. And yet, something was alive. And not just alive, it was waiting. He turned away from the glass and walked down the corridor toward the command console. The hum of the ship was comforting in comparison to the unsettling signals. "Prep the remote probe," he ordered. "I want eyes on the surface. Slowly. No rash moves. This isn't a moon we can afford to underestimate." "Sir," Myra hesitated, her brow furrowed. "We've received a transmission. It's old, like centuries old, but it's addressed to us, to humans." Joran froze. "Play it." The audio crackled with static, then a voice, low, melodic, and undeniably alien, cut through. "Humans, you are late. The path was always yours to choose, yet you hesitate. Choose quickly before the silence chooses for you." The lights flickered, as if the ship itself had shivered at the words. Joran swallowed. Myra's hand hovered over the console, trembling slightly. "Late," he echoed, his voice tight. "We're the first humans near this sector. What path, and who or what sent this?" Before Myra could answer, the ship jolted violently. The deck beneath them shuddered like a heartbeat, and the lights dimmed to an uneasy red. "What was that?" Joran demanded, gripping the console. "Energy spike coming from the surface, rapidly increasing," Myra replied, scanning the readouts. "It's moving. Something is waking." The observation window revealed a sight that made both of them hold their breath. Ice plains fractured and glimmered like glass as strange shapes rose from the frozen ground. Towering structures, dark and glistening, unlike anything humans had ever built or seen. Their angles defied logic, their surfaces shimmered as if they were alive. And on the tallest spire, a light pulsed. A single, deep red eye scanning the stars. "Whatever that is," Joran muttered, "it knows we're here." Suddenly, the comms lit up again, the alien voice sharper, more urgent. "Humans, decide, or be decided for." Joran turned to Myra, his jaw tight. "Get the crew on alert. I don't care what protocol says. Everyone full battle stations. And prepare to go down there. Whatever, waiting on Kelara, it's been waiting for us." And for the first time in his life, Commander Joran Hale felt the pure, unfiltered awe of being insignificant in a universe that didn't care about humans at all. Above them, Kelara waited, patient, calculating, hungry. Welcome to my channel Sci-Fi, Love Story. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The starship Horizon's Edge floated silently above Kelara, a moon of fractured ice and hidden danger. Commander Joran Hale leaned against the observation deck window, staring at the pale blue surface below. From orbit, the moon seemed deserted, an endless expanse of frozen plains and jagged cliffs. Yet, every sensor in the ship screamed otherwise. Lieutenant Myra Chen stood beside him, her fingers hovering over the console. "Commander," she said, voice tight, "we're picking up energy signatures under the ice. They're structured, repeating, intelligent." Joran didn't speak immediately. He had learned early in his career that unexplained signals usually meant something dangerous. Intelligent, he finally asked. Yes, not random. Someone or something built this, Myra said, eyes wide. Her gaze flicked to him. And it's watching us. Joran swallowed hard. Kelara wasn't charted for life. It was the outermost moon of the Ilarian sector, considered uninhabitable. Yet here they were, orbiting over signs of an advanced civilization that shouldn't exist. Prepare a probe, Joran ordered, his voice steady despite the tension curling in his gut. Slow, precise, no surprises. The holoscreen lit up with the probe's feed. Below the icy crust, enormous black structures rose from the ground like spires carved from obsidian. Their surfaces shimmered unnaturally, as if alive, reflecting the faint light of the twin suns. "What is that?" Myra whispered. Before Joran could answer, the ship jolted violently. Lights flickered. Alarms chimed. The moon itself seemed to shiver under the ship. "Energy spike," Myra said, fingers flying over the controls. "It's moving upward toward the surface. Commander, it's awakening." Joran felt the weight of the moment. Humanity had reached the stars, but nothing had prepared him for this. The stark realization that they were not alone, that the universe did not revolve around them, and that Kelara had been waiting for humans to arrive. Then the comm sparked to life. A voice, low and resonant, filled the bridge. It was alien, melodic, yet unmistakably intelligent. "Humans, you are late. The path was always yours to choose, yet you hesitate. Choose quickly before the silence chooses for you." Joran froze. "Late," he muttered. "We're the first humans in this sector. What path, who, what is this?" The deck shuddered again. The voice repeated, sharper, more insistent. "Decide or be decided for." And then the red eye appeared. A single light pulsing atop the tallest obsidian spire below, scanning the stars, locking onto their ship. Joran felt it through the hull, a cold, intelligent awareness, like the moon itself was alive and judging them. "Full alert," he ordered, turning sharply. "Shields up, crew to stations, and we're sending an away team, now." Myra nodded, but her hands trembled. "Sir, the energy readings are increasing exponentially. If we go down, they're unprepared." "I know," Joran interrupted. "We don't have the luxury of preparation. Humanity never does." The away team suited up, helmets locking with a hiss of pressurized air. Joran led them down the shuttle bay, every step echoing with tension. Kelara's surface loomed outside the viewport, a frozen wasteland that seemed impossibly vast. Lieutenant Chen piloted the shuttle, keeping it steady against gusts of frigid wind that howled across the ice plains. The black spires rose higher as they approached, twisting impossibly, some leaning at angles that defied gravity. They were structures, yes, but they moved subtly, like they were breathing. "Commander," Myra said, voice low over the comm, "there's a pattern. The spires, they're arranging themselves, forming a circle, and that red light, it's focused on us now." Joran's heart skipped. "Then we better make our introduction, slowly." The shuttle landed on a plateau of solid ice. Outside, the wind tore at their suits, but the spires shimmered, silent but sentient, surrounding them. The red eye pulsed, and the temperature dropped further, though their suits compensated. Joran stepped forward, boots crunching on the ice. He felt a presence, heavy, almost tactile, like the air itself had weight. "Stay close," he instructed his team. "And remember, they haven't attacked us yet. That means maybe they're curious." As he spoke, the spires shifted. Lines of black light traced along their surfaces, forming intricate symbols, patterns that his mind could barely comprehend. Then the voice returned, emanating not from speakers but seemingly from the ice itself. "Humans, why have you come?" Joran swallowed. "Exploration, communication, we mean no harm." Silence followed. Then the spires rotated slightly, forming a perfect enclosure around them. The red eye focused brighter. and slowly, a doorway formed in the largest spire, sliding open with a hiss of displaced air. Inside was darkness deeper than space itself, yet faint lights traced corridors like veins of molten metal. "Proceed carefully," Joran instructed. His own boots echoed as they entered the structure. It was cold, metallic, and alive with energy. Every surface pulsed faintly. The symbols on the walls shifted as they moved, as if watching, recording their every motion. "Commander," Myra whispered, "this is incredible. We're inside something that's been alive for centuries, maybe millennia, and it's aware of us." "Then we treat it with respect," Joran said, "and humanity shows what we can do when faced with the unknown." Inside, the structure opened into a massive chamber. The ceiling arched impossibly high, vanishing into darkness. The floor pulsed with energy, forming a faint grid that hummed under their boots. At the center, a platform rose, and upon it a figure, humanoid in shape, yet impossibly tall, clad in armor that seemed to shift like liquid metal. Its eyes, two burning lights, orange-red, locked onto Joran and his team. "Who or what are you?" Joran asked, stepping forward cautiously. The figure's voice resonated through their helmets, though no sound was audible outside. "I am Kalaris, sentinel of this world. You have come seeking knowledge, and yet you are untested." Joran felt a chill. Untested. All who come must prove their worth. Only then will the path open. "Test us," he said. "We are humans. We face the impossible every day. We adapt, we endure, and we will prove ourselves if you allow it." The figure paused. Then, without warning, the floor trembled. Panels rose, revealing a deep pit filled with glowing liquid. Shadows danced across the walls as strange shapes emerged, creatures of ice and metal, moving with coordinated precision, circling the humans like predators. "My God," Myra whispered, "they're alive, all of it alive." Joran's voice rang steady. "Remember why we're here. Humanity doesn't run. We face the impossible. We learn, we survive, and we do not back down." The creatures advanced. The chamber seemed to respond, shifting, rearranging itself. The sentinel's voice echoed. "Show me your worth, humans." Joran raised his hand. "We come not to fight, but to understand, to prove that intelligence, courage, and reason are stronger than fear." The creatures halted. The red light pulsed, and slowly the floor shifted again, creating a path across the pit, safe to cross if they had the courage to step forward. Joran looked at his team. "Humans don't wait for permission. We make our own path." He stepped onto the glowing bridge. One by one, the others followed, their boots leaving sparks in the energy grid. The sentinel observed silently, and as Joran reached the platform, he knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had arrived at the edge of the unknown, and Kalara had chosen to judge them. But Joran felt no fear, because in the heart of every human there was an unshakable truth. When faced with the universe, we endure, we adapt, we rise. The chamber doors sealed behind them. The red eye pulsed one final time, and the first trial began. The chamber doors had sealed behind them, leaving Commander Joran Hale and his team alone with the sentinel and the creatures circling the glowing pit. The air felt charged, as if the moon itself held its breath. Joran stepped onto the energy bridge, feeling the warmth of human determination push against the cold, alien atmosphere. "Stay alert," he instructed. "Observe everything. Humans survive by noticing what others overlook." Lieutenant Chen scanned the chamber. "Commander, the energy in this place, it reacts to our presence. Every movement changes the patterns. I think it's testing us, not just physically, but intellectually." Joran nodded. "Then we show it what humans are capable of." The sentinel spoke again, its voice resonating directly in their helmets. "Survive the trial, prove your worth, and the path will open. Fail, and the silence chooses for you." Joran swallowed. "Noted, let's begin." The first challenge came immediately. From the pit, ice metal creatures surged forward, their limbs angular and precise. They moved like clockwork, calculating every step, every angle. One of them lunged at the bridge. Defensive formations, Joran barked. Humans were not the strongest beings, not the fastest, and certainly not invincible. But what they lacked in brute force, they made up for in creativity. The crew moved as one. Myra activated a handheld grav field projector, a new experimental device designed to manipulate weight. The nearest creature froze mid-step as its center of gravity shifted, sending it crashing harmlessly into the glowing pit. "Nice," Joran called. "Keep it up, think, react, adapt." The creatures attacked in waves, but the humans used their intelligence, improvisation, and simple tools. One crew member lured a group into a trap, where a combination of magnetic pulses and reflective surfaces confused their sensors. Another used the ice itself, breaking slabs to create barriers. Slowly, the team advanced toward the Sentinel's platform. Each step was a small victory, a proof of human ingenuity. "Impressive," the Sentinel's voice echoed. "But intelligence alone is not enough. Wisdom, courage, and compassion must also be shown." Joran exchanged a glance with Myra. "Compassion," he muttered, "in the middle of this." "Yes," the Sentinel replied. "The trial is not just to survive. The trial is to prove that your species is worthy of coexistence, not conquest." The creatures paused. Their movement slowed. The red eye focused on a smaller section of the chamber floor, where another human crew member had noticed a wounded creature struggling to rise. Joran hesitated. Then slowly he approached. "We don't abandon anyone," he said. Reaching down, he manipulated a grav field pulse to lift the creature gently, holding it steady while it righted itself. The energy around it shifted, glowing brighter, as if acknowledging the act. The Sentinel's voice deepened. "Courage and compassion recognized. Proceed." As they reached the central platform, the chamber began to shift. The walls rotated, revealing an enormous map etched into the floor, pulsating with alien light. Lines stretched across the galaxy, connecting stars, moons, and unknown systems. It was a record of travel, of trade, of knowledge. Humanity had stumbled into a repository of an ancient civilization's intelligence. "This is incredible," Myra whispered. "It's a galactic archive. They've mapped the stars, civilizations, even life signatures, and it's alive somehow." Joran studied the map. "Then our trial isn't just survival. They want to see what we do with knowledge, how we handle power." The Sentinel's voice resonated once more. "Knowledge is a test. Will you exploit it or will you protect and share it? The choice defines worthiness." Joran nodded. "Then we do what humans do best. We learn, we adapt, we share." He directed his crew to document everything. Grav field drones mapped the structures, sensors recorded the creatures, and Myra worked to translate the symbols. Every movement was careful, respectful, and precise. They didn't take more than they needed. They didn't disrupt the structures. They approached the ancient intelligence with curiosity, intelligence, and restraint. Slowly, the spires pulsed brighter, harmonizing with the energy grid beneath their boots. The red eye lifted, scanning them with what now felt like approval. "You have demonstrated survival, intellect, courage, and compassion. Humanity is worthy," the Sentinel said. "The path opens." With a low rumble, the central platform rotated, revealing a tunnel leading deep into the moon's interior. Strange energy currents shimmered along the walls, but the way forward was clear. Joran exhaled, finally allowing himself a small grin. "We did it. Humans win again." Myra smiled, though exhaustion showed in her eyes. For once, victory didn't require firepower, just brains and heart. The tunnel led them to a massive chamber, far larger than anything on the surface. At its center was a crystalline construct, glowing with a deep blue light. The Sentinel's presence remained, but it had stepped back, allowing the humans to approach freely. Joran studied the construct. This is a star map, a navigation matrix. With this, humanity could reach hundreds of new systems, explore uncharted space safely. The Sentinel spoke. "It is yours to use if you respect it. You have proven that humans are capable of more than mere survival. You are capable of wisdom, courage, and stewardship. Take what you need, but remember, the galaxy is alive. Every action has consequence." Joran's voice was steady. "We will respect it. We will explore, learn, and protect. That is what humans do." "Then you may leave," the Sentinel said, "and the path will welcome you when you return." The spires shifted once more, creating an exit tunnel that led back to the shuttle landing site. The crew emerged onto the frozen surface, the black spires behind them glowing softly, as if bowing in acknowledgement. Back aboard the horizon's edge, Joran convened the crew. "Today, we faced the unknown. We encountered intelligence older and more advanced than we imagined, and we survived. But more than that, we proved what humanity is capable of." He looked at each crew member in turn. "We adapt, we endure, we learn, we act with courage, compassion, and wisdom. That is our strength. That is what makes us human. That is what makes us worthy in a universe full of things that don't care if we exist." Myra spoke up. "Do you think they'll contact anyone else, other species?" Joran shook his head. "Maybe, but I hope not. Let humanity show what we're capable of first. Let them see that we can rise to the challenge, not just survive it. We've earned this moment. Remember it." As the ship lifted off Kelara, Joran stood again at the observation deck, looking down at the frozen moon. The black spires shimmered faintly, then slowly faded beneath the ice. The red eye was gone, but Joran felt its gaze linger in his mind, a quiet acknowledgement. "Humans," he muttered softly, "we've only just begun." Below, Kelara settled back into silence, patient and eternal. But humanity had left a mark. Not through violence, not through conquest, but through courage, ingenuity, and the refusal to yield to fear. In that moment, Joran Hale felt it clearly. The universe could be vast, cold, and indifferent, but humanity had something no alien intelligence could replicate, the spark to face the impossible and to rise. The horizon's edge jumped to hyperspace, carrying humanity's explorers toward unknown stars. Each pulse of the engines echoed like a heartbeat of possibility, and somewhere far beyond the mapped sectors, the Sentinel watched, waiting for humans to return. Because in the end, the universe respected those who dared to step forward, and humanity had done just that.